welcome to another workshop presented by Women in Digital Business, and my name is Natalia Nicholson. It is great to have you here. So let's get started with grow your business with social media. Social media, guys, is one of those things that everybody feels that they need more social media presence, okay? And with that, we often approach social media with not much strategy. So on the screen right now, I want you to meet Marilyn Blake. Marilyn has been working with women in digital business for coming up to 3 years now. And social media was really her bag. She's becoming a phenomenal influencer, going from literally 0 followings into thousands and having 100 odd comments on her posts. Feel free to look her up. And she really understood how to use social media to capitalize on her life, being an influencer and really connecting with people. And actually what Marilyn sells is helping people to brand themselves and get visible online, particularly Instagram and TikTok. And she does that by actually promoting herself and her life. So actually within all her social media, she's not at any point selling her services of helping people with Instagram and TikTok. What she does is she has got a lifestyle brand that people tap into her and like her. And off of the back of that, she upsells them into an actual Instagram course and teaching them what their why is and how they should be personally branding themselves on their social media channel. But she does that by being an influencer herself. And one of the things about Marilyn that really changed her whole business model and revolutionized what she did was understanding who her audience was, understanding through social media who she was attracting, why she wanted to attract them, and what their bigger why was to initially be like her. And because she understood that, it just means that she's gone from strength to strength over the years. It's on her way to becoming a great social media influencer, but she's monetized. She's monetized by actually selling an educational package, but you will not see that on any of her social media profiles. What you'll see is just simply her doing her makeup, her going shopping, her bringing married from a young age, her bringing up a child. And because people are attracted to those qualities in her and they want to be like her, once they're in her funnel through social media, through identifying with her, then she can upsell them into the services that she's got. But you will not see a mention of any of her services. And it's because she's crystal clear on who her audience is and why they're hanging out on social media. People do not hang out on social media to be sold to. Be very clear about that. People hang out on social media because they want to look at things that are cute, sexy, funny, controversial. Okay, these are things why we scroll for miles a day on Instagram. We look at things at TikTok, things that, you know, make us laugh, things that make us cry, things that influence us. And she's understand how to use her influencing power on social media, especially Instagram and TikTok. So people say, well, how do I be like you? And she says, come on, I'll teach you. Okay, so this is one of our great success stories of how she has really used social media to be able to get ahead. So social media is a great tool for you to improve your marketing. It's going to help you get noticed on search. It's not just about social. If you are posting on social media, you're getting engagement, you're getting following, actually the search engines will pick up on this and you're going to get noticed. So it's going to attract more people to your website or your landing page, and you're going to get a lot of valuable customer insights. It's also a great way for you to keep your eye on competitors. Okay, for any of you that haven't, please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, because at some point workshops like this are getting uploaded on there, so you can go and pick through workshops that are really going to help you. But if you really want help that's going to really get you into the 6-7 figure bracket and follow a framework and strategy that's going to work, make sure that you stay on till the end of this webinar, because we're going to give you information about that. So one of the things I want you to do in terms of social media is to ask yourself, what kind of updates should I post? What do I mean by that? Well, some of you might think, well, that's a no-brainer. But think about it. What type of updates should you post? What should you be putting on your social media channels? If you don't answer that, there's a big problem. And to do that, you really need to understand who your audience is and what do they need? What do they want? What's their pains? What's their challenges? Okay? Again, if you're not in the community, make sure you join the community where we talk about content marketing. Okay, and we talk about really understanding who your audience is and drilling that down. Because if you do not do that, you are going to stumble in every area of digital marketing, not just social media. You know, ask yourself, what is the best time to engage with my audience? Your audience is on social media, all their favorite channel, all different times. And sometimes we put people into boxes. Also, morning time's a really great time to post because people look at their feed early in the morning, then at lunchtime, then on their way back from work, then at 9 o'clock when they go to bed. Well, hang on a minute. Suppose you're attracting people who are really highly successful. I go to bed mega early because I get up mega early. Okay, so you posting to me at 9 o'clock, you've already missed me. Okay, makes sense. You posting first thing in the morning, again, I get up at 5:30. If you're posting to me at 8 o'clock, you've already missed me. Maybe you're targeting someone that, you know, works at night. They do night shifts. So think about what is the best time for you to be able to post to your audience. Okay, it's actually quite key. What's the best time for you to engage with them? Like for me, 8 o'clock at night is the best time to engage with me because that's when I've just put the kids to bed, and that's when I'm probably looking through my feed and I might engage. In the morning, I'm not going to be engaged. I might look, but I'm not actually going to engage. So really think about it. You know, are your posts driving people to your website? Are they driving people to your event? Are they driving people to like or share? Every single post should have a call to action. You know, whether that says someone on it that's building a Facebook group, if you're putting posts out, your call to action should be getting them to drive them to that group. What are you doing to get people to drive them to your to that group? So think about where you are in your business cycle. Are you right at the beginning stages? And if you are and you haven't got any following or a community, should you really be asking for sales? Shouldn't you more want to be making sure that you're concentrating on getting leads? So are your posts on social media driving people to your website, a landing page, some form of call to action? Ask yourself, who are your most influential followers? This is really important. The people that are engaging with you the most, the people that might be buying from you, the people that repeat buy from you, who are your most influential followers and buyers? But in terms of social media and a following, whoever's engaging with you the most and are the most influential, would you not want to find more people like that? Would you not want them to help you find more people like them? Would you not want to have them as a brand ambassador because they really appreciate your community and what you're doing on social media? So these are just some of the questions that I really want you to be able to ask yourself. And remember, attention spans are short. They are literally like goldfishes. We scroll on average, I think it's something like 2.8 miles just going through your phone. So what is it that you're posting on social media that's going to grab people's attention? You've got a lot of competition on there, that your feed is full of different things. What's going to make you stop? The strong headline, the video, something shocking. Remember what I said, people don't hang out on social media to be sold to. They hang out there because things are cute, sexy, controversial, all different types of reasons. And remember, social media is not always free. Sometimes when we think of social media, we think, oh, I just need to be posting. I need to have more social media presence. Again, that's where the call to action comes into play. We actually haven't got a point. I showed you Maureen as a case study because what she does is she attracts people that like her, that connect with her, that want to be with her, be like her. And by doing that, once they're connected with her, that's when she'll say, well, hang on, if you want to be like me, come and do X. And remember, it's not always free. Okay? It's what people don't understand. It's not just organic. We get most of our business through Facebook advertising, through YouTube. And again, spending money on ads that gets them into our funnels. As you grow with us, you'll really understand how to build out a funnel and a strategic framework that will constantly get you traffic, leads, and conversion. And again, at the end of this workshop, I'm going to tell you exactly how you can do that. But understand that some of the most successful businesses, and when you're reading case studies about how I went from 0 to 7 figures on social media, understand that it's not always free. And in many instances, it was paid for. And finally, remember, once it's public, it's public. Okay, I'm dyslexic and I have to read things over and over again. And this day and age can be quite unforgiving of things like spelling errors, Also, it's just blunders of doing things that, you know, how many times has things gone out, and once it's gone out, that's it. But mistakes have been made. So whether it's a wrong video upload, it's a spelling error. I was watching the Janet Jackson documentary a couple of weeks ago, which I thought was excellent, by the way. Whoever hasn't checked it out, please do. And I never knew she got so much backlash for the whole Super Bowl appearance that she did with Justin Timberlake, where her boob popped out for like 3 seconds. I didn't realize that really it stopped her from moving on with her career. She got dropped from things. Once it's public, it's public. Okay, that was an extreme example, but just be mindful of that. That's why it's important when it comes to social media, you must have a strategy. In everything you do, you must have a strategy, because if you don't, you're just doing things that are just doing it for doing its sake. You're just wasting time. It's not bringing you any revenue. It's not bringing you any closer to your goals. You're just doing it because you feel like you need to have presence. You should be doing something. It needs to be thought out. It needs to be strategic. So in terms of being strategic, I really want you to think about your audience. Who are they? And we've covered this before in past workshops. Understanding who your audience is paramount for your success. If you don't understand it, I'm going to be honest with you, you're not going to be able to move on to any step within digital marketing. What are they to you? Okay, understand that, because some of us have got different customer segments and they're different things to us. You know, within our community, we have a community that follows us, that engages with us. They're our biggest cheerleaders. Then we have a community that's actually inside our membership that are growing businesses, and you know, we've got testimonials, we've got living proof of what we do it really well, like Marilyn. And you know, those businesses then enable us to fund and give back to other businesses. From there, we've got other businesses that are agencies. What are your customers to you? So we have different types of customers, from our following to, you know, paid members within our membership site, to the social community element of it, of giving back and giving funding, to actually providing agency service to medium-sized businesses that haven't got time to understand everything that we teach, but just want us to do it for them. So what are your customers to you? What are they into? Okay. Some people need the advice. They might not be at a stage where they're ready for it. Other people really need it. And if they understand it, they can break through that ceiling height and be able to scale their business. Some people don't have the time and want that do it for you service. So think about what are they into? What are they into is going to tell you an awful lot, as you can see. Okay, who or what influences them, understanding what makes them tick. You know, what do they eat? Who do they like? Who do they follow? What conferences do they go to? Where do they like going on holiday? How old are their children? You know, what are their interests in life? What's their good versus evil? What do they stand for? You know, who and what influences them. By understanding your audience is really going to help you to be able to put out content, to put out posts socially that's really going to be able to connect with them. Can you see how it's all so much of a deeper, bigger picture psychologically? Because that's why it's important to know what they're into, because these people are going to become your customers at some point. So you need to make sure that you're attracting the right people. When are they usually online? There's no point trying to talk to people socially and engage with them if you're not even aware when they're hanging out online, what time they're hanging out online, because now you could just be putting content out that you miss them. Remember what I said, attention spans are short and you're constantly scrolling down that feed. So if you're putting information out a couple hours too early or late for when they're looking at their feed on their social media platform that you're connecting with, for them to have to scroll through all the other posts that they get sent within that day, you're just going to miss them. You know, which social media do they use? We all feel this need to have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I want a podcast. I'm on Clubhouse. And you're on all these different platforms. I'm on Reddit. You could be on local platforms. It doesn't even have to be the main ones. But which social medias do they use? Because I know for me, I'm not hanging out on every single social media platform. Who's got the time for that? None of us have. So really think about what social media do they use so you're connecting with them on the right platform. Okay. So next we want to look at, okay, how do we define your audience? How do we define them? So to define your audience, it's all very well you saying, well, I think my audience is this. This is all my target audience research. These are my segments. A lot of us in the beginning, or even once we've launched, we base it off of our own experiences and ourselves being the avatar. We also make a lot of assumptions. Yeah, and people are guilty of this in life, full stop, constantly making assumptions about people. You know, even yesterday, I had someone, a friend of mine, just really stressed out that the way that her manager spoke to her was just unacceptable. You know, suppose he's telling her she wants to lose her job. I was like, wait, hold down, slow down, slow down. How do we go from him being, you know, a bit arsey to you possibly losing your job? He could have got up that morning, had a blazing argument with his partner and taken it out with you. I'm just saying, sometimes we make a lot of assumptions. Sometimes we take things really personal, or sometimes we judge one type of person and then class every person that might be like them the same. And for you to be able to define your audience, you need to snap out of that. And what I'm explaining to you is actually human nature. So it's important that you speak to real people. You understand their needs, you understand their interests. So if you're trying to grow a community, you know, if you've got a hair and beauty business, if you're a digital marketer and you're trying to build an agency, the people that you are speaking to who are your clients, and if you don't have any clients who are your followers, speak to them, understand their needs and their interests. No one's going to give you any better information than the customers that you already have, or the followers that you already have. Listen to them, have focus groups, create surveys. It's really important that you speak and you listen, and identify groups and segments that can be most attracted to your offering. And this ties back into what we was just speaking about as well. So in terms of defining your audience, you want to identify groups and segments that can be most attracted to your offering. So imagine if you speak to real people, you understand their needs and interests, then you think, hang on a minute, the product offering that I've got isn't really going to attract them, because that's not the problem they've got. And you need to be able to have an offering that solves a pain point or challenge that your audience has. Make sense? And this is one of my biggest problems, just to let you know, with actually my candle business. I have got an e-commerce store that sells inspirational gifts. And I started off selling candles until I expanded it. But this was one of my biggest problems. I had an idea of who my audience was, and I based it very much off of myself. I love homeware. I love inspirational gifts. I'm a firm believer that words are really powerful. I meditate. I believe in manifestation. But when I started that business, my only product was candles, which means now I was targeting to candle lovers. Make sense? So in my mind, I've built this avatar just like me that just loves inspirational homeware, luxury stuff. So I built a candle. It's luxury, it's natural, it's vegan, but I'm basing it off of what I like. The fact that I love positivity, I love meditation, I love inspiration and motivation, I love uplifting people. That doesn't mean to say every candle lover loves that. So I'm not understanding the needs and interests of the people that were going to buy my candle. So when I'm looking at my groups and segmenting them, they're not attracted to all the stuff I'm talking about with motivation, inspirational. Why? Because they're candle lovers. I specifically targeted candle lovers. They want to create a soft mood environment at home. You know, they want a relaxing environment with things that are natural, because they're vegans and their belief system is based around sustainability, recycling. Make sense? So it might sound really simple, some of the stuff that I'm saying, but again, it's about thinking really strategically. Even though it's social media we're dealing with, you have to be able to really think strategically about these things. So you really want to build online surveys for customers to complete. You really want to understand, you know, people and understand their needs and interests. You really want to understand, is your offering for those people and the interests that they've got? So build surveys, have focus groups. You know, there's someone on here that's actively said, I want to build a Facebook community. You are very smart. There are so many people in the startup phase of their business where I keep saying, while you're getting your product offering together, while you're putting your marketing plan together, while you're thinking about launching, build an audience, build a community, build a tribe. That way, when you launch, you've got an audience to launch to, rather than waiting for this perfect product, this perfect offering, doing things on social media that is bringing attention to the wrong people that are not even going to buy from you anyway. You know, if you're going to build a community or a tribe or a following or have social media presence, think about what Marilyn did. She knew she was targeting people that wanted to be like her. She's built a course on how she got to where she was. So she's attracted people that connect with her so she can upsell. If you're just posting for posting's sake, you're not really thinking about it. You're not understanding the needs and interests of your audience. You know, you're not looking at the segments. You're not looking into what your offering is. It's just all done in vain. So do the research, build an online survey. It's really, really important. Can't stress that enough. And in terms of, you know, your insights, you can get insights from so many free platforms, seriously. Google Analytics, if your call to action is to a landing page, is to a website, your Google Analytics should be connected to every single web page that you might be driving traffic to. Even if you were running events on Eventbrite, even if you was putting a webinar out, I don't care, a landing page, a website, doesn't just have to be a website. If Google Analytics is not plugged into anything that you've got a web page for, I urge you today to make sure that you set that up. You know, if you're posting on Facebook or Instagram, make sure you're getting the insights. I mean, Facebook, it used to be something like 30 days they would expire. I think they've extended it to 90 now, but make sure you're recording. You need to be scorecarding all these things. Twitter, LinkedIn, it doesn't matter, TikTok, make sure you're recording the insights. Think about sports people. You know, sports people, especially boxers, every sport, it's not just boxing, but especially they will look at how they lost the fight. They will look at why they lost the match. They will look at it and they will see, how can I improve and make myself better? Because they look at where they went wrong. Well, as business owners, as digital marketeers, you need to be doing the same. And what makes it worse is that we're living in the digital age. This is not like the traditional days of having to stand on the street and do surveys or get people into a room. We've got insights, and the insights, the bigger that you are as a marketeer, especially for those of you that, you know, are into design, are into digital marketing. If you are not using insights and analytics, you should be. Even educating your clients around them, you'll be giving value to your clients for what you do. We've got things called heat maps nowadays, where you can plug them into your landing pages, your websites, your community, you know, if you're a course creator, your membership sites, and you can actually see what people are doing on the pages within your community, within your website, within your funnel. So you can gauge, you know, are they just logging on? They look at one page and then they log off. You physically see what they're doing. You know, Google Analytics, seeing what gender they are, what location they are, what age group they are, what other sites they hang out on. Can you imagine the insights that you're getting for this? This is why you've got Apple going crazy, saying we're protecting your information, it's a privacy. This is why some businesses, they base their exit strategy on the data that they're gathering and the fact that they can sell that data. Do not underestimate insights from anything you do. It's not just social media, actually. You should be measuring and analyzing, more so in the digital world where analytics has become so much of an automated process and you've got the power of softwares. Google Analytics is free. All the big social media platforms will offer you insight, but absolutely free. You should be capitalizing on this and you should be using it. Yes, data is the new gold. You're not wrong. Beautiful analogy. You know, before gold, we used to trade with salt. Then gold, we made up money. Data is valuable. Many businesses have built their exit strategies off of data. So use the analytics. These analytics are available to you at your fingertips. Okay. So step 2, define your goals. Another thing we don't often do with social media, because we've got this gunshot approach is what I call it. Let's just shoot everywhere and do everything. You know, the more people that notice us, the better. You're in a saturated marketplace. The average person sees 40,000 ads a day. You just randomly posting is not somehow going to get you out there. It's just like when it comes to community management, just posting messages of buy from me. Okay, again, you have to start getting more strategic. You have to have a plan. You have to understand who you are, what you're offering, understand your audience, understand how you're going to find them. And social media is a place where you can find them. So you need to understand, what are your goals? Is your goals that I'm launching and I need to get to survival budget? Is your goal that I've launched, I've prove that I've got a viable business, but I just can't seem to be able to get ahead. I can't seem to be able to get the sales. Is your goal that, well, actually, I need more leads. I need more people to know about me. Are you running a business and actually you're finding that people are not repeat buying from you because you've got bad customer service? Your goal is to get better customer service. Define and understand what your goal is. We are just hit February. If any of you have started in January and said, this is going to be a new year, a new me, I'm making a difference, I'm starting my own business, and you've already found that you're procrastinating and falling in the failure cycle, remember, today is the 16th of February. Start now. Make your 2023 where you can be proud of yourselves and say, look what I've done. I've made X progress and I've achieved X goal. Make sure you have a goal. You have to have a goal with absolutely everything that you do. Grow your brand awareness. Brand awareness is so key. For women in digital business, that was a thing that actually catapulted us to grow, by the way. Having our brand, our website, having brand ambassadors, having people say, I've done this program's brilliant, it gives me this results, having the professionalism that we've got, having a brand that could be trusted, that underrepresented women could be connected with, as what's catapulted me into this year to be speaking at the business show at the end of the year, the largest business show in the whole of the UK at the Excel Centre in Docklands. It's catapulted me into doing a number of things for International Women's Month. It's made me visible within the women in tech industry and really being able to help bigger organisations train and get people within them. It's helped me globally within developing countries where I recognise that it's time to give women a chance. It's time to speak up and say anything. That's from brand awareness. That's from making sure I'm consistent, making sure that we've got a really great brand strategy. So don't underestimate it. Branding. It's very much one of those things, especially when it comes to social media. Yep, I've got a logo. Yep, I've got this checkbox, checkbox. I've done it, without giving the thought behind what you're doing strategically. So depending on whether you're a coach, a consultant, a freelancer, you're bricks and mortar, but you find your customers online, the spa and beauty industry, yes, people come physically to use your services, but actually people use online methods to actually find you. Your brand is absolutely paramount to people saying, okay, is this a business that I want to use? Are you on social media answering the fears what your customer might have? Are you giving the objection to sales? At any point where your prospect is aware of you, they're started the thought process of thinking about whether they're buying from you or not. And that starts with your brand. So understand what your brand awareness is. It's really important. And do you want to generate more sales? And it might sound silly. All of you might say, well, Natalia, don't be stupid. Of course we want to generate more sales. We've come on this workshop today to find out how do we generate more sales through social media. But maybe it's not sales you need. Maybe it's leads. Without a constant flow of leads, how do you turn leads into sales? Because not every time you're selling is your prospect ready to buy. So really think about what your goal is. Is it to generate more sales? Is it to generate more leads? Is it to generate more traffic? You can't just skip everything and go straight to sales. So think about what are your goals. Maybe you've got social media channels, you've got brilliant brand, your business is up and running, but actually sales is the missing part. You've got a database, you've got a mailing list of people that you can market to. So maybe it is sales that your goal is. But if you've got no mailing list, you've got no following on social media, and you've got no active community or following to market your products or service, and people aren't really buying, do you want to generate more leads or more sales? I think you need to generate more leads first so that you can then get sales. Is your goal to get more people to your site? Do you run an e-commerce store just like I do? My goal isn't necessarily so much brand awareness. I want you to try from me. I want you to get me on my site. Because getting you on my site now means that you could possibly buy from me. But I sell a physical product. I'm e-commerce. This is not me selling my coaching and consultant services, which is completely different. So define what your goals are. Everybody's goals are just going to be completely and utterly different. It depends on what you do. Is your goal to connect with more influencers? Maybe you need people, you haven't got any authority to say, this is what makes you the authority on what you sell and what you offer. So if you get other influencers to do it, it's a great way for you to build up the authority of your business. Define your goals, understand what your goals are. And this might sound silly. Some of you might actually get confused with this exercise and actually struggle on, what are my goals? What are my whys? Use our community to your advantage. I cannot stress that enough. This is what Women in Digital Business is actually what we stand for. This is what we're about. So really improve your marketing on social media by defining, what is your goal? Define what the goal is. List what you need to achieve the goal. Do you have any shortcomings? Are you going to be doing more videos? Maybe you need an editor. Maybe you're going to be doing podcasts. You need the equipment. Maybe you need a ring light so your videos are better. I don't know. Only you can know that. So list what you need to achieve your goal. Identify any barriers. Like for me, I'm dyslexic. I don't really like writing content and putting it out. So I need to get a content writer. Identify what your barriers are. If you've got barriers, if you're use the community again to help you with this stuff. You guys, there's no point coming on these workshops or being in the community if you're not asking questions and really looking to get ahead and tear down some of the problems you've got. I embrace failure. I welcome failure. Failure is how you learn. Discussing things that have gone wrong and making them better is how you learn. And once you learn, you work out how to mitigate, how to overcome, how to do it better. That's how business works. You just keep getting better and better and better. So the more failures that you make, ultimately, is the better and the quicker that you're going to make it. So step 3, choose your channels carefully. Okay, is your business more business focused or more lifestyle focused? I keep hearing this talk all the time lately, and I've got to be using more TikTok. Clubhouse has really blown up. We've got to be using that more. What is your business? Where is your audience hanging out? Answer that. Because if it's business focused, would you not do better on LinkedIn? Possibly not. I'm just putting it out there to you. If you're lifestyle focused, would Instagram and TikTok might be up your street? Not always. Sometimes you could have a business focus, but your audience is hanging out on those platforms. But just understand, in terms of your product or service, is it business focused? Is it lifestyle focused? Think about where your audience is hanging out. Choose your channels carefully. Okay, I can't stress that enough. Please, everyone ignores me on this one, but please, if you haven't started, start with one, test it, learn it, and then try another. If you're using all of them, I like the magic number 3, because remember, for every platform that you have, you are going to need a strategy of all the things we've gone through today. You are one person. If you've got a great team and you've got budget, fair enough. Yep. If budget and resource is a problem, start with one. Think about what's the main platform my audience is hanging out on. Test it, learn it, write a strategy, implement it, get the data, get the analytics, and then figure out, how do I move forward to grow? We keep doing all things at once, especially us women. We are known for multitasking, and we are known for shiny object syndrome, where we want to do everything at once. And even if you're not starting with one and you're ignoring me, which most of you will, because I've even ignored my own advice on many occasions, please try not to go over 3, because you'll just bog yourself down. And just remember, different channels, need different strategies. That's really, really key. Yeah, we can cross-purpose content, yes, but they need different strategies. The way that people consume videos and information on YouTube, to the way they consume it on Facebook, which is like your newspaper, to how they might consume it on a podcast or consume it through TikTok and Instagram, it's going to be completely differently. All these platforms have different algorithms as well. And these algorithms will help organically for you to really get up in the search. They're all different. From their algorithms to the type of contents to the rules, amount of characters you can use, they are all so different. And this is why I'm saying having all of them can just be a headache. So the best thing you can do is get organized, and you really want a social media calendar. Okay, something that says this is what's going out on this date, on this day, and this is the type of content that it has. So it might be that you have something that's, I don't know, Motivational Monday, or there's a beauty therapist here. It could be Self-Care Wednesday or Friday. It could be Love Somebody Else, Acts of Kindness Day. I don't know, just throwing different things out there. But you really want a social media calendar that is planned out, as otherwise social media will take your life over. And there's so many other elements to catch up and to concentrate on. So a social media calendar is a great way for you to become organize, schedule, and really look at the data. Along with this, on your spreadsheet, you should have a tab that's scoring all the posts so you can see what posts are doing better than the others. We do this all the time. So as time goes on, we understand what posts really do well. So we want to do more of those posts. It gets your creativity going when you really see the posts that are doing well. Those Monday morning motivation, acts of kindness days, you're changing them accordingly, depending on the amount of people that engage, open, comment. So make sure on your social media calendar, you are also putting down the stats of how well your posts and social media do it. And there's many scheduler apps that we'll look at that will help give you insights. Again, data is gold. It's invaluable. For anybody that wants a template of a social media calendar, an editable file, please make sure you join the Facebook group where our team will make that available to you. Okay, we'll put the link that you can see on the screen within the Facebook group. So anybody that needs help with organizing themselves with social media, they can get that done. So this is an example of what a calendar should look like, just to put it into context for you. So you can see here, Sunday is a motivational quote, share a valuable tip, share a podcast, link to your recent blog post, or maybe a tutorial that you put together. All your businesses are different, so it's all going to look different depending on what type of business that you've got. But this gives you a clear idea. Take a picture of this screen, reference it. But yeah, this is what you want your content social media calendar to look like. Shout out, free downloadable, share a video, get to know me, ask a question, feature one of your products or services. And you really want it to be 80% educational, 20% promotional. An infographic, a fun fact. There's just so many ideas in there. Industry news, what's going on within the market sector. So many testimonials. You should always be asking for testimonials from wherever you can. It's really, really, really key. So this is interesting. Sometimes I think we underestimate, by the way, the amount of types of content that there are. There are absolutely loads. There's so much different types of content that you can use on social media. Live events, podcast video clips, tutorials, giving advice, highlighting an event, company updates, what's going on in your business, or maybe another big leading business within your market sector, behind the scenes. And sometimes we bog ourselves down thinking, oh my God, all this content that I've got to produce. Once you start producing content, you can repurpose it for social media, and you can also repurpose other people's content as well. Nothing wrong with that. Photos, quote cards, podcast posters, throwback pictures, whether it's something a few years ago, something in your childhood, behind the scenes, recommendations, promotionals, sharing industry news, share videos and photos. You might share things that are trending, which will bring even more traffic to your social media platform. Partner blogs, okay? And again, recommendations, product or service updates. There's so much different types of content that you can put together within your schedule. What I showed you might not be applicable to your business, but there's so many different types of content that you could be posting on social media. The lists go on and on and on. Podcast posts, YouTube videos, live streams. The list just doesn't stop. Polls. Who here loves a poll, loves a competition, loves answering questions, quizzes. These are really, really great ways to get engagement on your social media channels as well. So really just think about what type of content is really going to get your audience to have a reaction to you, to share your content, to like your content, and to actually act on the call to action. Think about the different types of content that might work for your business model. Okay? And for every single channel, think about frequency and the best times to post. Okay, it's really, really important. So, when you're looking at Facebook, you're looking at Twitter. What's the low time today? What's the high? What's the recommended amount of posts for you to do? When is the best time for you to post? So whether you're using Facebook, you're using Twitter, you're using Pinterest, you're using LinkedIn, these are things I want you to think about. Okay, when is the low time of the day? When's the high time of the day? What's the recommended amount of posts per day? When is the best time to post? Every platform is going to be completely and utterly different. So make sure you do your research around this in terms of frequency and best times. Again, this is really important for your schedule. And when we look at hashtags, why should you use hashtags? And it's really funny. I was listening to a webinar last week on one of my masterminds, and it was so funny. They were saying, have you ever asked a marketer or business owner, do they use hashtags? And the answer is actually, funny enough, generally no. So quite often we don't use them, but hashtags can be helpful. It will help you reach the audience you're interested in. Some people do follow hashtags, so make sure you haven't got too many, because you're kind of falling into that jack of all trades, master of nothing. You want to make sure you're attracting the right people. It helps people understand what your post is about in one glance. And I think that's the reason why a lot of us do like hashtags. Because instantly when I see hashtag woman empowerment, hashtag CEO, hashtag superwoman hero, these are all the things that I think, woo, woo, women empowerment, and I love it. So it grabs my attention. Remember what I said, we've got short attention spans. So hashtags you should definitely use, but I wouldn't go overload. I wouldn't use no more than 10, because you forget the point of it, because many of us don't search or look up hashtags. It is a great way on summary to see what something is about. And some people will look, especially those who are in real niche marketplace, they will search by hashtags when it's something niche. For something broader, not so much. Okay. And there was someone on here that said, they're growing their own Facebook community. Facebook groups, your own community, is such a powerful way. Like I said to you, communities are a great way for you to build leads. So a Facebook community are people who already may be interested in your product or service. And this is just the perfect platform to warm up your target audience and constantly engage with them, get to know them, get to know how they feel, understand their pains, their challenges, talk to them, help them, because you're learning more about how you need to help them. So, when you're looking at trying to grow your Facebook group, you really want to look at preparing your bait. And what I mean by that is a free resource that would entice people to join your group. And again, at this point, you should not be selling. For you to have a genuine why of doing what you do, you need not to be pushing people in a group. Because who wants to join a Facebook group to be sold to? How many of you join groups and all you get bombarded with is other entrepreneurs selling their products? So it just starts to go over your head and you lose the point of it. You need to give away a resource that would really entice people, that people feel it's invaluable. And how are you going to know that unless, I hope you're finishing my sentence, you know who your audience is. Everything always relates back to knowing who your audience is. Join different faith groups that are related to your business vision. That way you can piggyback off them and bring people into your group, and also seeing how they're doing things, how people are reacting to their posts, how you feel. It's a great way to check out what the competition is and give you ideas. So you can sample Facebook groups that you can promo in. So you want to put a list together of different Facebook groups that you can promote in and make a list of them. And the reason why you're making a list of them is that for anyone who's just dropping in sales messages into a Facebook group, I can assure you it's time consuming and you're not going to get much return on investment on that. You need to build relationships first. So the sample groups you can promo in, again, this is something that we can put in the group. Make sure you join our Facebook group. It's in the chat. The team will post it again. So this way you can share your bait, your lead magnet with other related groups. The call to action is simply let them join the group to download the resource posted inside the group and be a part of your community. So there was someone on here that was building Facebook groups. This is going to be ultra helpful. You need to think about your bait, your lead magnet. What can you produce that is of absolutely amazing value and something that your audience needs to get them to join your group to get a copy of that? And when you're using other groups to promoting, you are not selling, you're educating. I can't make that clear enough, because otherwise you're just going to lose the connection. You want to engage with other group members, be friendly, comment on their posts, be a friend. And that's really important. Don't just be going into groups, just, you know, posting sales. Be a friend to that community leader. Be a friend to the people within that group. That sincerity and them understanding your why and you having frank, open conversations will mean that they'll take the bait when offered to them and join your group. And it's a great way for you to build a group, tribe, or community. So I mentioned to you that social media marketing can often be paid. A lot of times we see some great, fantastic examples, but they're not always free. But how do you get noticed on social media organically without spending any money? Your posts have to be exciting and interesting content. So you've got things like Bazumo, you've got things like Ask the Public. The team will put links in the chat now. This will let you know what's trending and what people are talking about, what your audience is talking about, because you want to be talking about posts that are exciting or interesting content that's trending, because then you'll get engagement going. Okay, make your visuals attractive. You know, design in this day and age is absolutely key. There's someone on this call that is actually a graphic designer that does design. You being able to understand how to help your clients market their products, even though you're just doing the design element of it, is going to give you a big, massive advantage, because visuals are so key in this day and age. And when I said attention spans are short, strong headlines will get people to stop on the scroll, but so will attractive visuals as well. Ask questions. You'd be surprised. It seems so basic, but people like to comment on share. It's called social media. It means communication's two-way. And sometimes when we have a product or service, we've got this knack at talking at people. You know, be relatable, have empathy. If your audience feels that you really understand them and you're speaking about them, this is where storytelling is very, very powerful. If you can understand how to tell a really good story and how to engage with people and get people to connect with the story that you're talking about, it means that you'll be relatable. Being relatable breaks down a lot of trust barriers, and they'll connect with you, share, and become more active and engaged. You know, consistency is absolutely key. It's key not just for your audience, but it's key for the platforms. When they see you posting consistently at the same time every week and you keep something going, you become more credible, which makes it easier for you to be found. Also, your customers can be very unforgiving if you say you're going to do something and you don't. Okay, use the right hashtags. Like I said, don't use 50 or 100, just use up to 10. Use the hashtags so at a glance people can see what it is that you're talking about or what you're doing. So again, they stop on that feed and they notice you. And create a content series. Like I said, it could be Motivational Mondays, Acts of Kindness Wednesday, Hidden Figures Friday, Thursday Throwback Picture. Create a content series. Use that planner that I gave you and start getting really, really strategic. And there are some absolutely great tools that you can use as well. So when it comes to the scheduling and putting together something strategic, you can really, really use schedulers that will just make life so much more easier for you. So softwares like Hootsuite, you know, this is a great tool to help you manage multiple social media accounts at once. Although, please start with one social media account. If you're bigger, you shouldn't be doing no more than 3, but some of you might have businesses that require you to be on a lot of platforms. Some of you might have clients that you're doing their social media for them. So scheduling can be really great so it doesn't consume your time. You can schedule updates, you can post, you can do stories. It just means that you're going about your social media in a lot more of an organized fashion. Canva. If you haven't got Canva, you need to get Canva. Canva is just an easy to use graphic design app. It's where you get your own graphic design. And design on social media, and you can just design really quickly and easily, whether it's stories, whether it's banners, whether it's posts. You can even edit videos in there. You've got templates across all social media formats. You can put quotes together in there, posters, brochures, you name it, it does it. And it's great to add text and logos to images, and you can create infographics, which are brilliant, especially for e-commerce, of rather than writing a whole paragraph that people are not going to read, you display what you want to display in an image. So if you haven't got Canva, sign up. Grammarly, I couldn't live without it. We do a lot of agency work, so we have got clients that are government agency clients. I'm not great at spelling. You know, that's something I struggle with. I'm dyslexic. I don't write loads of blogs and content, But even my whole team, we're international. So we've got different English laws, whether it's US English, UK English, some of us based in the UK, slang language. Grammarly is just a great tool of making sure that everything is as it should be, because people cannot wait to tell you when you've got a grammar or spelling error. So try to avoid it. There's still things that fall through the net, but Grammarly is a brilliant tool to make sure that anything going out, your spelling and grammar is on point and correct. So there's a lot in social media, and I hope what I've done is probed you and given you a lot of thought of how you're going to go about putting a strategy together. Because there isn't one clear-cut answer. You all do different things. And again, we've all got this ideology of, I just need social media presence. I just need to use social media more. Have you seen TikTok taking off and the amount of people that watch videos? We need to be doing more TikTok. Our product is a lifestyle product. We need to be on Instagram. Facebook groups are fantastic. Let's start the Facebook group. Even though Facebook is dying, practically everyone in the world has a Facebook account. How can we be moving it more? The latest phenomenal with Clubhouse. Oh my gosh, have you seen the new podcast on Spotify? It just goes on. Business to business, LinkedIn is the place. I'm going to do a course and a community on that. It just keeps going on, and you just get suckered in to just work on all these platforms without any type of objective aim, return on investment, and being really clear on why you're doing it. Because people don't hang out on social media to be sold to. So be very, very careful when it comes out to social media. We've all got this yearning to want to do more of it, but we don't have the strategy that goes behind it, which is why I really want to introduce Empower to you. Empower is a program that Women in Digital Business have put together, and it's a part of a membership site where you have access to this program for a whole 12 months. And within that program, you've got the foundation of really getting you up to speed on all the things that you're going to come across that's going to try and hold you back, and just trying to get you to realize what they are so you can overcome them. Understanding what your growth plan is. Your revenue growth plan. What's the revenue you need to make? What growth do you need to see to be able to achieve your goals? Looking at your core offer makeover. You need to have a core offer. Every business does. Okay, you need to have an entry point offer. Not everyone does, but you'll survive better if you do, where people have got an opportunity to actually try you. But what are you offering your audience that they really need? How are you going to get there? Creating a sales map of putting strategic steps together, exactly how you're going to reach your goal. It can't just be wish on a star and positive thinking. You have to have the strategy. Looking at your marketing strategies. Hopefully today you've learned with social media, you can't do them all. You'll be rushing around like a blue ass fly. And on top of it, you just won't be able to grow because there's just too much to do on too many platforms. And also you're going to be missing who your audience is, because they're not hanging out on every single different marketing communications plan. Looking at financial freedom. What does financial freedom look like for you? How is your business goals and objective wrapped around that to make sure that you're achieving that? Because otherwise, setting up your own business and running it is just all in vain. So we do that for the first 6 weeks. And then the program continues for another 6 weeks, where we look at business systems, digital business process, procedure automation. How do we build technology that's automated, that connects to the KPIs and objective of your business, and also is meeting your personal goals and aspiration? Technology meets psychology. Task delegation. Are you doing it? Are you having to outsource it? How do you get tasks done? How do you find skill set? How do you find the missing links? Or how do you train yourself? How do you do it, depending on which size of your business? Scorecarding, really important. Looking at the analytics, looking at the data, how to use the data. What's the data telling you? Is it changing anything within your strategic plan? And then really looking at how you scroll and grow your business. For you to really get ahead and achieve and make your business where you want it to be, you have to be strategic. Just going and listening to workshops or hanging out in different communities, or just listening, but it's not specific to your business and you're not working in your business, you just keep working on it, you're just never ever going to get ahead. This is what my missing link was. This is what helped Marilyn. This is what helped all the women. Even tonight, we've got some members from last year of our mastermind group and members of the Empower program, where they talk about how they turn their passions into profit and what that looked like for them and what the framework of the program did for them. It gave them a plan. It gave them a map. That map didn't always take them on the route they needed to be on, but because they had it, it would put them back onto the right route to be able to achieve their goals. It wasn't just shooting in the dark. It wasn't just the and, you know, let me hope for the best. I've got the power of the universe on my side. I've got this on my side. You know, God, the universe, Allah, you have to have a plan. And he'll put things in your way, or for some of you, she will put things in your way, or it will put things in your way, depending on what angle you're coming from, based on your manifestation and you having a plan. You have to have some type of strategy. It can't just all be left to the world and the universe, and it's just all going to fall into place, especially in this competitive marketplace. Okay, having a plan, a strategy, I promise you, it's what held me back. So what else do you get in this community? It's a membership site, remember. So you get the program that I just explained to you. You become an exclusive member of a private community, you know, which within the membership site, you also learn how to build your 7-figure digital business using a 7-step system. Okay, really giving you core 7 steps and structures on how you should be looking at your business and the system that you've put together as an overall bird's eye view. Looking at the 5 core principles of becoming a successful business owner and entrepreneur, your mindset, your relationship with money, understanding really the core essence of marketing and how you're going to find your customers. Management, how do you manage yourself? How do you manage your team? How are you getting your things done? Are you more efficient? You know, I talk about Think Rich, Grow Rich all the time. If it's a book you haven't got, go and get it. It teaches you about your desire, about having a mastermind, you know, about having a clear goal and plan and making sure every day you visualize and think about that. But you have to be working towards it, which is why you need a mastermind. Women in Digital Business is your mastermind. So the core principles are things that you need to get over. Imposter syndrome, getting your confidence up. These are all things that are key. Having the ability to manifest, having the ability to see where you want to be, understand who your audience is, connect with your tribe and community to really build the goals and wealth that you want. And every single lesson within the program, in the membership site, has a playbook. It has a worksheet with actionable steps. So every lesson, you've got actionable steps that you have to complete. So by the end of the 12-week program, it's like you're left with a Bible, literally. And that is something that you will keep tweaking and keep using. So all the things, and I keep saying, understand who your audience is. We will work together to make sure that you are clear. We will look at your core offer value, and we will look at everything and make sure you have a plan to really get ahead. So on today's workshop, anybody that does sign up, we got some fast action bonuses. You get an exclusive meeting within a group of 5 with myself, and you will be assigned accountability partners within the community anyway. You'll become a part of a monthly private accountability call with myself. And whoever signs up within the next 72 hours, the first person that signs up, we put this out weekly and we get take-ups every single week. The value that you get is just utterly amazing. I joined so many programs. It's the reason why I put this program together, because I joined so many programs where I was charged thousands and thousands of dollars, and I would get there and there would always be some missing piece of information. There would always be some depth missing. There would always be a framework that was given to me, but it was just about one area of my business, whether it was just creating a lead magnet, whether it was just completing a customer value journey. There wasn't something that was creating operating the heart and brain of my business from a plan from A to C to say, right, I've got a plan and we're going to follow this. And it gave me the in-depth analysis of who my audience was, how I'm going to market myself. I've had to do so many different things to be able to come up with this. So the value is amazing. And one of Women in Digital Business's USP and what we pride ourselves on is value. It is the fact that, oh my gosh, for that level of investment into myself, that's what I got. And you have to be open to investing in yourself. Money is not your problem. Really understand that. Money is not your problem. For years, I used to think money was my problem. It's not. There was definitely a blockage with mindset that I had, not really understanding what I had to do. I knew all the things I had to do, but I couldn't put them in an order to make it a clear plan that I could guide myself and guide other people who were my team on. So what we've done is we've put something together where you just need one place to go and follow it. And we've just done it and given it to you at just an utterly no-brainer price. You shouldn't need to have to think twice at investing yourself in the level that I have. Because for the same information that I'm giving you, all the worksheets, accountability coaching, group coaching, one person to win that lucky one-to-one with me, it's just at a no-brainer price. So for anybody that signs up within the next 72 hours between today and in the next 3 days, you get $100 off. And I know that there's people that think I'm absolutely crazy because it was priced at such a no-brainer price before. So the code you see on the screen, the team will put the code in. There's a link to the sales page that will break down exactly what the Empower program is, the membership site. That code will give you $100 off. So the program was as cheap as chips before at $297 US. So for those of you in the UK, that's even less. The code actually gives you $100 off. There are some of you that are a part of our community that on that call, on this call today. Please feel free to tell people on the chat how you found it, what's in there, how you found the community, how it's helping you. And for many of you, it's not just with business, it's how it's helped you with confidence, breaking down fear barriers, really understanding that you're going to have to break through some of, the barriers of not seeing the results that you want and making sure that you are tweaking your plan, doing the work to make sure that you can move from the point that you've moved from. Because for many of us, and I know I've been in this hamster wheel, the minute you do something and you don't start seeing the results, you just go and find something else that you think is going to give you the answer to become excited about it again. And you just keep going round that hamster wheel, doing the same thing, finding things to get excited about. So take the gift, take the $100 off. It's $197 for a whole year. If you can't invest that, you just need to look at where you are at in terms of your business and think, do I really want to drive it forward? Because maybe the time isn't now for you. You're going to have to invest at some level. And the price that we've given it to you for, you don't need to invest in loads of other things. We are giving you a whole framework that you can use to really be able to get your business to where it wants to be, with all the playbooks and with the support of monthly coaching as well. Okay, but I just want you to think about, if all the program did was help you make a consistent increase in your monthly sales, would that $197 be worth it? If all it did was take away all the overwhelm of marketing your products and services and give you a clear focus plan, would it be worth it? If all it did was empower you to take action and give you that confidence in every lesson to get where you want to be, would $197 be worth it? And a lot of you know the answer to this question. So I'm sick to being sold off. I'm sick to death of being seeing funnels that I can just see where they're coming from. I'm sick to death of being told people can make me into a millionaire overnight. I'm not making any of those claims for any of you. What I am saying to you, though, is we are giving you a program that's really going to give you structure and strategy to be able to get things done and work in a manner where you can start seeing and getting the results and know what you're doing, having a solid plan that's for you, not the bank manager, not a non-profit organization, not the latest digital scheme of trying to help you upskill you that isn't really giving you the depth and quality that you can see big entrepreneurs, 6-7-figure businesses have got. These are the same models that big corporations, businesses, and successful entrepreneurs have used. I know because I've been on masterminds with them, and this is information of years of me putting it together and giving it back to you. So everyone, thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you. Any questions, just make sure you email us. God bless. For those of you that will be on the live tonight, I look forward to seeing you then. Take care. Bye-bye.